Jirou is an innocent, ugly otaku and virgin high school student who likes his childhood friend Shiori. However, Jirou is involved in his school's marriage practice. Jirou is paired with Akari, the prettiest and sexiest girl in class. Although the beginning is awkward and their relationship is not harmonious, Jirou manages to melt Akari's heart over time. One day, high school students will undergo marriage practice, which is a crazy curriculum that has just been implemented in their school. Each student will pretend to be married and live together like a husband and wife. This makes some students depressed and anxious. But unlike Jirou did not think about it at all and focused on playing games. Akari is the prettiest girl in school, but because of her unfriendly nature, Jirou doesn't like her. Jirou would be happier if someone like Shiori was his partner. The reason is that she is a childhood friend as well as his first love. But Jirou is instead paired with Akari. Akari wants to be paired with Minami, the most handsome guy in school. Therefore, they are forced to pretend to be an intimate couple to increase points and get an A rank. They can change partners according to their wishes if they get to the A rank. In the afternoon, Jirou's friend Kamo comes to pick him up to go to the comic exhibition, but Akari can't let him go because their points are still minus, and Akari forces Jirou to kiss before leaving. As a result of coercion from both parties, Jirou was annoyed and immediately kissed Akari on the mouth.
Nice.
It made them both blush. A week later, the relationship between Jirou and Akari still had no improvement. The teacher said they fought too often, so the grades did not change and were still E rank. Meanwhile, Minami and Shiori's relationship had progressed. Now, they looked much more familiar than the previous days, making Jirou desperate and unsure he had a chance to approach Shiori. After school, Akari and Minami were dating, and suddenly Shiori approached Jirou. At that moment, Shiori tries to be spoiled so that Jirou returns to calling her by her first name like before. But Jirou does not obey her wishes because Shiori is currently paired with someone else. At the same time, Minami comes to pick her up. Then, Jirou was waiting for the rain to stop. Akari came with an umbrella for him. Besides that, she also re-energized him by providing dishes she made. In return, Jirou tries to feed her, and they almost kiss again. Jirou was sleeping when Akari suddenly woke him up and asked him to accompany her to a horror movie. To increase the rank, she felt she had to watch it, but because Akari was very scared, Jirou suggested changing the plan. Coincidentally, Akari had prepared twin pajamas so they looked more harmonious. When they were about to wear it, there was a power outage. Akari, who was scared, immediately clung to Jirou to feel calmer, but the situation made his zombies wake up. After Akari calmed down, they used a makeshift tool as a light source. Being alone in such a situation made Jirou slip up and say that Akari was lovely. Embarrassment made Akari not respond to him. She pretended to be asleep, so Jirou thought his words were not heard.
マジで寝顔は可愛いな。おやすみ、渡辺。
バカ、意味わかんない。
Last night's incident was useful. Jirou and Akari, originally ranked E, are now ranked B, while Shiori's ranking dropped dramatically because the relationship with her partner did not go smoothly. When Jirou had a fever, Akari went to play with her friends. Instead, she asked Shiori to replace her and take care of Jirou. Even though it was her own decision, Akari looked regretful and couldn't stop thinking about Jirou. Meanwhile, Jirou was very happy because he could be cared for by someone he liked. Jirou remembers when they were in junior high school when he was preparing to confess his feelings to Shiori. Unfortunately, Shiori will move and ask him to remain friends. Hearing that makes Jirou desperate. Jirou was worried and wanted to give Shiori help, but she didn't need his help yet because it was her own fault for not being used to adapting. She would feel more comfortable if Jirou was her partner. Even though Shiori intended to joke, Jirou still supported her. That made Shiori happy. At night, Shiori tried to kiss the sleeping Jirou and said she would fight once again so that her wish could be achieved. Then Akari asked Jirou's opinion on what she should do to get Minami hooked on her. Jirou suggested giving him lunch. After that, Akari tried to make lunch suitable for Minami, and she also gave it to Jirou to listen to his opinion. It turns out that Jirou likes the food but prefers sweet food. Akari didn't care about his taste because she thought Minami didn't like sweets. While at school, Kamo feels annoyed with Jirou because he lives happily like the main character of an erotic comic. Kamo also advises him to play with his hot wife until they both get bruised and end his virgin life. The next day, Akari intends to meet Minami and deliver lunch to him. Before leaving, Akari asks Jirou to kiss her. She thinks it might make her heart calmer.
Yes! 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 No!
Hi.
No! Fuck!
But when Jirou is about to kiss her, Shiori suddenly visits and gives her some homemade food. It seems that she has made sweet food because Minami asked for it. After learning that Minami likes sweet food, Akari immediately gave up and cancelled all her plans. Because Akari had worked hard, Jirou tried to cheer her up, but he was still a virgin and instead talked about her hot appearance, which was liked by all the guys. These words made Akari curious whether Jirou was one of the guys who wanted her. If it's true, then Akari doesn't mind having a relationship with him. Of course, Jirou can't resist such temptation.
マジだったんだ。マジでギャルってエロ漫画みたいな感じなんだ。
My time has come.
ダメだ。
Given that they already have their own likes, Jirou rejects it. This makes their relationship difficult to develop until the rank drops back to E rank. Shiori immediately invites Jirou to talk to her alone. She wants to know what's going on with Akari and gives advice so they can make up. After talking with Shiori, Jirou decided to apologize to Akari. While Akari didn't blame him too much, she also felt guilty for getting carried away. Therefore, she doesn't mind continuing their relationship as a married couple again, even though Akari admits she quite likes Jirou. Akari's friend is talking about Minami and Shiori. According to rumors, Minami doesn't want to change partners, so there are many assumptions that they will become lovers. On the other hand, Jirou feels he can't match Minami, making him insecure. When Shiori approaches him, he tries to confirm whether Shiori wants to change partners. At the same time, Akari and Minami are in the sports storage building. At that time, a box almost fell on Akari, but Minami quickly protected her. Her heart beat fast, and she wished she could always make out with Minami. Then Akari asked if Minami would continue to be with Shiori. Without thinking, Minami said it could happen if Shiori didn't mind. Hearing this made Akari cry, making her realize she still loved him. At the same time, Kamo accidentally saw the two of them and thought they were kissing. On the other hand, Shiori tells Jirou that she doesn't know whether to change partners but wants to be paired with Jirou. Unfortunately, she hasn't had time to talk about it because Kamo came and messed up the atmosphere. Kamo wanted to tell him that Akari and Minami were kissing, but he dared not talk about it now because the person was behind them. In the end, they separated and walked with their respective partners. While in class, Kamo tells Jirou that he saw Minami and Akari kissing. Although Jirou says it's not his business, he looks so jealous. After school, Jirou meets Akari and accidentally discusses Minami. This makes Akari wonder why Jirou is talking about him. Jirou already knows that Akari's relationship with Minami is getting closer and even kissing, so he wants to support them. Akari laughed at him and explained that Minami was just blowing her eyes out. But she was still hurt because Minami didn't want to change partners. When Akari cried, Jirou tried to calm her down by hugging her. It seems like this virgin has started to understand how to treat girls. After her mood was good, Akari told him she had never kissed anyone else. Jirou certainly is her first. Before going to school, Akari tried to tidy up his clothes. At that time, Jirou felt that Akari looked so cute that it made him imagine what it would be like if he became her husband. Arriving at school, Jirou got a ticket turn with Shiori. This happened not by chance, but Shiori had exchanged schedules with her friend so she could be alone with Jirou. Then Akari looks for Jirou in class and finds him with Shiori. Shiori tells him to bend over and close his eyes as if to kiss him, but instead, she pretends to dust, making Jirou blush, and even Shiori feels the same way. At night, Jirou looks at the stars in the sky with Akari. Suddenly, Akari forces Jirou to call her by her first name. Akari seems jealous because Jirou calls Shiori by her first name while Akari, his wife, is still called by her family name.
似合ってると思う。あかりって名前。
もう一回
I like this. This is cute. I want this inside of me.
A few months after the practice of pairs, the students experienced a decrease in concentration that affected their grades. Therefore, the school decided to hold a special exam, and the grades will be calculated in pairs, so those who get low scores will have to repeat it together. Even though Akari has never seriously studied, Jirou worries that his grades will plummet. Therefore, he has no choice but to invite her to study together. As long as they study, Akari has no difficulty, but the problem is that she has no interest in studying. She even invites Jirou to do various naughty things instead of having to do problems, but Jirou manages to control himself and refuses the invitation. After getting a little praise, Akari is more excited and able to solve all the problems. Then Akari is more cheerful than usual and again tries to flirt with Jirou to get his heart racing. The situation gets hotter when Jirou is on top of Akari. He can no longer hold himself back and wants to do it badly.
待ってジロ話
くそ誰のせいだよ誰の
Unfortunately, Jirou has a nosebleed. It seems that the day when his virginity will be released is still long. After school, they went through their usual activities. Akari helped him dry his hair while discussing how their ranking had improved. At that time, Akari still called him Yakuin, while Jirou stopped calling him Watanabe and started calling him Akari. It makes Akari shy and looks very adorable.
あかり
今顔見ちゃダメ
Damn, what is that, bro?
わがまま聞いてジロ
They and Shiori discuss Jirou and her partner getting ranked 8. They asks her to act immediately and be more aggressive than her partner to have Jirou completely. Suddenly, a ball hits Shiori, making her dizzy, and she is taken to the school health room. May immediately tells Jirou to go see her. When in the school health room, Shiori took a bold step by asking Jirou for help to accompany her kissing practice. However, when Jirou began approaching Shiori, she changed her mind. Simultaneously, Sashi came to the school health room. Sashi's arrival surprised Jirou and Shiori, so they accidentally kissed. The incident caused problems. Sashi, who just saw it, told Akari and thought that they had sex, thus making Akari misunderstand and not excited anymore. Meanwhile, Jirou waits for Akari to come home until he falls asleep. Akari, who had just returned home, tried to wake him up so that he could sleep in his room, but because Jirou was very difficult to wake up, she finally gave up and lay down beside him wearing only underwear. The next morning, there was a misunderstanding. Akari acted as if Jirou had done something to her. Even though he doesn't remember anything, Jirou believes her and thinks that he's no longer a virgin, so Akari can easily play tricks on him and realize that Jirou didn't do anything to Shiori while in the school health room. The next day, Jirou helped Akari wear yukata because it was troublesome. Jirou told her to wear ordinary clothes, but Akari still wanted to use yukata to prepare herself if she met Minami. Then, when she gathered with her friends, Sashi said that Minami's group would also come, so Akari could take advantage of the opportunity to approach him. Unfortunately, Minami couldn't come because he went to work. Akari tried to change her appearance as best she could to meet Minami. Akari thought she would fight by going to his workplace, but simultaneously, she saw Minami and Shiori walking together. It made Akari heartbroken, and she decided to go home. While Jirou thinks Akari is having fun, Akari suddenly calls him in tears. Jirou immediately went out to look for her and found Akari at the door. Akari apologized for going home first, even though Jirou had helped her wear yukata. At that time, Jirou didn't ask what happened to her. He said welcome and warmly welcomed her. That treatment made Akari cheerful again.
おかえりあかり
After her mood was good, Akari asked to call her name again because Akari felt she could try again when Jirou called her name. Now that Jirou and Akari are ranked 13th, it seems increasingly difficult to move up because many couples have already chosen to date. Then Akari asks to be fed by Jirou because her hands have just been colored.
ジローのちょうだい
精霊たちを静まりたまえ
Seeing her cheerful attitude makes Jirou wonder if she won the lottery. But Akari wants to get closer to him. She even invited him to date. After that, Jirou is having dinner with Kamo. He complains that his relationship with his partner is not getting along. Unlike Jirou, ranked 13. Because of that, he is annoyed with Jirou's luck about an accidental kiss with Shiori and insists that he is not a harem anime character.
お前のラッキースケベを帳消しにしてやる
Gay!
At the same time, Shiori passes by the place for fear of misunderstanding. Jirou immediately meets her and explains what she saw before was just a misunderstanding. Then Jirou walks with her like a married couple. Shiori also expresses her gratitude and greatly benefits from the previous kiss. A few days before summer vacation, Kamo suddenly signed Jirou up to work at his brother's cafe. As a loner with no work experience, Jirou naturally protested. But after learning that Shiori was also working, he got excited and accepted the job. On his way home, Jirou is greeted by Akari, who is wearing a swimsuit. Her swimsuit is so sexy there must not be enough fabric, so Jirou can't focus on talking to her. Akari will go to the beach with her friends to work at a cafe. She feels she has to take more initiative because Minami will also work there. Since they will soon be separated, Akari is doing various things to increase points. In addition, Akari also took Jirou to the beach together, and the swimsuit was especially for him. They won't be separated because Jirou will work in the same place. When they arrived at the beach house, Minami led them so they wouldn't enter the wrong room. After that, the manager explained the cafe, and the positions were divided into chefs and waiters. Since Jirou chose to be a chef, Shiori immediately became a chef with him. While Akari and the others chose the waiters section, Akari was excited to be close to Minami. To be alone, Shiori tried to invite him to practice making drinks, while Mei helped her by tricking people who might disturb the atmosphere. Making whipped cream drinks was not as easy as expected because it was the first time Jirou had difficulty getting the cream out, so it hit Shiroi's face.
これくらい。もう、ジローくん。
Then, Jirou and Akari were assigned to shop. Coincidentally, there was a discount for couples. Akari invites Jirou to pretend to be dating to get the discount. While Jirou was taking his order, several guys were trying to flirt with Akari. Jirou tries to stop them and explains that Akari is his wife.
嫁なんです。
なんか悪いな兄ちゃん。
いや、幸せにな。
The bullies back off, and Akari likes Jirou's manliness. Afterward, they return to the beach house and calm down in the hot spring. Being alone with Akari made Jirou uncomfortable. He feared that someone would see them and gossip about them. While Akari begged him to behave as usual, she felt lonely if Jirou had avoided her. Akari invites him to talk on the beach to show Jirou a special swimsuit. Akari deliberately did things like that to make him more confident. She wanted Jirou not to care about other people's opinions and to still act like he was at home. Besides that, she also doesn't like it when she sees him close to other girls. This statement made Jirou think that Akari was jealous. After realizing it, Akari became shy. Suddenly, Shiori and Mei came to the place. Akari immediately pulled Jirou and hid there. The situation got more dangerous when Jirou became hard, realizing that it made Akari happy that Jirou was very interested in her. After that, they returned to the beach house, and Akari took the incident as a joke so that neither of them felt awkward. The next night, they plan to hold a guts test. Shiori tells Jirou she will participate but wants to avoid burdening her partner because she feels too timid. Jirou says that she doesn't have to worry if he and Shiori are a couple. Hearing his words makes Shiori so happy that she accidentally says she likes his nature like that. Kamo offered to pair them up as a true friend, provided Jirou gave him 30 diamonds for the SSR gacha.
力が。
欲しいか。桜坂さんとペアになれる力が。石30連分で引き受けてやる。
Kamo is not alone. He works with Mei to find Shiori's lottery results and match them with Jirou. He also wants Akari and Minami to pair up and promises to give him a double reward. In the evening, they begin to hold the guts test. Shortly after it starts, Akari gets scared and wants to give up immediately. Minami tries to hold her hand, but Akari realizes that her cell phone has fallen on the road. They searched for it together, but Minami suddenly told them that he was separated from Akari. Her friends were apprehensive about Akari, but everyone returned to the inn and left Minami alone to look for her because it was raining. Jirou can't stay silent. He decides to look for Akari despite the heavy rain. Akari, who didn't know the way home, hoped Jirou would come, but Minami found her instead, thus making her very embarrassed. Minami felt relieved because Akari hoped that Jirou would find her. Minami already knows her feelings, so he decides to reject Akari. In addition, he also said that he liked someone else. It turned out that Minami liked a mature woman, but his love had a bad ending because the woman he loved had become his brother's wife.
Oh no, no.
Despite being rejected, Akari can now decide to pursue Jirou seriously. But that night, Shiori precedes her. In the rain, Shiori is alone with Jirou while kissing.
Woo! Yeah, baby!
A few days later, Akari prayed again to have a chance to become Jirou's lover. While Shiori always remembered that incident, she dared to make a decision, but her true feelings had not been conveyed. Even Jirou doesn't understand Shiori's intentions and actions. While at the bookstore, he met Shiori by chance. Jirou felt very lucky to meet her, and even Shiori invited him to stop by the house. Being alone with Shiori made Jirou very happy. He kept watching her until he made Shiori blush. When the rain stopped, they saw a rainbow and took a picture together. Jirou thought it was time to move on but immediately changed his mind when he saw Akari's photo on Shiori's cell phone. A few days later, Akari invites Jirou to go on a date. Even Akari dresses up because Akari wants to match his taste. This made Jirou confused, even though, in the past, Akari rarely paid attention to her appearance, especially when she was walking with him. During the date, they visited several cafes to go to the shopping center. After playing all day, Akari forgot that she hadn't gone to the temple. When they were about to go there, by chance, they met Shiori, who also planned to stop by the temple. Akari and Shiori had visited the shrine together, so she invited Akari to go while racing. They begged for a relationship with their partner at the shrine to run smoothly.